This is a quick explanation on jewelry qualities and some of the common names that people use. Hey everyone, David Sod here from Skyjems.ca. Thank you for joining me. I actually had a few people ask me in a fairly short period of time to put together something like this, so I said, hey, why not? Wrote a quick script, and here I am. So what I'm going to talk to you about is some of the common terms used in jewelry when we're talking about jewelry and gemstones. What I'm going to talk to you about is paste and costume jewelry, what we call fashion jewelry, fashion quality jewelry, or fashion quality gems, commercial quality jewelry and gems, and then what we call fine quality jewelry and gems, gem when we use the term gem or gemmy to refer to a gem in particular, and then of course museum quality and museum grade, which is generally the highest, although doesn't necessarily have to do with price. So first off, going to start off at the bottom with paste jewelry, costume jewelry, and this is just kind of regular plastic jewelry that you'll see, usually plastic or other kind of rocks or glass or whatever. These are the pieces that you're going to find at the at the store, on the checkout when you're waiting at the department store, the Bay or Saks and whatnot, and they'll have some nice pieces. There's nothing wrong with costume jewelry. I love jewelry of every kind. I don't sell it, it's not my thing, but there is antique and vintage costume jewelry that sells for a lot of money. Not my thing, so you're going to have to ask somebody else to tell you a little bit more about that. But there is expensive costume jewelry and there is expensive paste jewelry out there. But as I said, and these are items that are normally selling, from $1 up to about $100, $150, but of course can be more, and as I said earlier, when you're talking about some of the antique and vintage stuff, can get quite expensive. Next is what we call fashion quality. This is usually natural gems and metals, usually silver or 10K gold, very often both silver and gold. And this is the kind of thing that you're going to see, if you're in Canada, you're going to see at places like People's. If you're in the US, Zales is a great example. Also, the gold and silver jewelry that you'll buy out of, most department stores is all within this fashion quality. Again, nothing wrong with fashion quality jewelry and gems. Look, we've been adorning ourselves as humans since at least 135,000 years, and this is how we adorn ourselves, and the price point can get up there, right? So can be as low as $15 or $20 for like a little silver pendant on a piece of rope or a piece of leather, and can go up into the high hundreds or thousands for fashion jewelry. Next up is what we call commercial quality, and this makes up the bulk. And I actually hate the term because it sounds cheaper than it is, but this is an industry term that we use to describe jewelry that is mostly accessible to most people, and this is the bulk of the jewelry that you're going to find in most independent jewelry stores in Canada and the US. The gems should be natural. The metals are generally from the Noble Group, gold, platinum, silver. Again, something that we need to note here, and this is actually very important, is that gems in particular can move between these qualities. So one of the best examples would be Colombian emeralds. A Colombian emerald that would have been considered commercial quality 20 years ago, and would have been selling wholesale for $800 to $1,000, and retail for $2,000. Now today, those same gems are selling for wholesale anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a carat, because Colombian emerald prices have gone up so much. And the gems that were, so now it's $3,000 to $4,000. So those are actually considered fine, and what would have been considered, even fashion quality for a lot of emeralds is what's now considered commercial quality. So, you know, these might have been gems that 20 years ago were selling for a couple of $100s a carat, and now are selling for, you know, north of $1,000 a carat. So this is, you know, these do change, and these do change with time and as time moves. So it does, you know, that's important to note, because, you know, a fine quality emerald today, what was considered fine before, you know, $2,000 a carat, you know, on the wholesale side was, you know, is now $10,000 to $15,000 on the wholesale side. So that's obviously reaching into fine, and even, you know, some of the best commercial quality that would have been sold 20 years ago would actually be, you know, pushing the gem quality, gemmy quality. So next up, fine quality. I was talking to you about a little bit. This is when we get to the cream of the crop. This is what you're going to find in, you know, you go to your independent jeweler, your local independent jeweler. They're usually going to have a showcase, maybe two, with fine pieces. You know, this generally starts at around 2,000, 2,500, with precious gems, you know, pieces that are set with precious, semi-precious gems, pieces that are set with like amethyst and garnet and whatnot. And I mean, the sky is truly the limit. What we would describe, you know, if you were to go to Tiffany's fine jewelry. They absolutely also have commercial quality and fashion quality. A lot of Tiffany silver is truly, it's fashion jewelry, and you know, it's beautiful and it's well made, but it's fashion jewelry. It's not a fine piece. It's not a piece that, you know, we think of as, you know, being passed on for generations. Even if it is passed on, it's not what we're thinking of as a fine piece. So, you know, like I said, fine quality. This is, you know, your jeweler's best cabinet. You know, the cream of the crop. Sometimes could have silver conceivably, but pretty much it's gold and platinum, and we're talking about gold and platinum should really be at least 14 karat gold, and that's what we're looking at as fine quality. And then the next grade I'm going to talk to you about is gem quality, or when we call a gem, we call a stone gemmy. And gem quality, or a gemmy, is referring to gems and not finished jewelry. So when we say a gem is gemmy, it's referring to one of the finest quality examples of that species. So the price is not as important as the quality compared to other examples of that species. So for example, a gemmy emerald may still have and will still have some eye visible inclusions, where, you know, obviously, you know, gemmy amethyst is not going to have inclusions in it because it's just not acceptable for the gem. Next up is museum grade or museum quality. This is, and there's kind of two parts to this. So first I'll talk to you about museum quality jewelry. Museum quality jewelry should generally be a signed piece. It doesn't matter if it's silver or gold, but it should be signed by a fairly important designer. You know, it's the kind of thing where you're going to see it in a museum, right? So Fabergé, for example, if Carl Fabergé has signed a piece, that is going to be a museum grade piece, right? And then we're going to talk about gems. A gem that is a museum grade piece should, you know, just like gem or gem quality, should be the finest example of that quality and of that gem. But it should also be an extraordinary gem in that it is difficult to replace. It should be an extraordinary gem, either whether it's the size or the phenomenon or whatnot. Sometimes you can end up in, you know, with pieces that aren't actually that expensive, but will still be museum quality because they're just unheard of to find in those kinds of sizes or qualities. That's it. So I've taken you through, you know, paste or costume jewelry, fashion jewelry, commercial quality jewelry, fine quality, gem or gemmy, and museum grade. Thank you all so much for watching. Have yourself a great day, and don't forget to tell your friends about skygems.ca. Bye for now.